Step right up, it's time to hear the cleverest show of the year. AI catch-up, brighter tone, every week in your living room.
Hey everybody, we're live on the catch-up. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to see everybody.
Good to see you guys. Today we're going to do Gamma. I'm excited to do Gamma. I like Gamma. David, I know you like Gamma. You've got a connection to Gamma.
Love Gamma. I am a Gambassador, so I was one of the early adopters of Gamma. Just Brad, I think you were there too when we were using, the early AI think tank days. It seems like many, many years ago, even though it was only a couple years ago. Gamma was right there. I think it was Beautiful AI, a few others. But it seemed like 1 week, Gamma just shot ahead of everybody else. And I don't know if you remember that, Brad, right? Because it was always like, oh, well, this one's good for this one's good for that. And all of a sudden, Gamma just became a great tool that you could really use just to pop things in and have the AI do its work. So, yes, into the Gambassador program. I got my sweatshirt and my water bottle, so I'm good to go. It's good.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, Gamma is a presentation software that uses a large language model and an image generator. And what it does is it takes your idea and it helps you turn it into a visual presentation. But Gamma has exploded and now they make websites. So, I mean, should we dive in, guys? Should we have a look?
Definitely.
All right, let's have a look. So for anybody that's watching live, we're able to receive your comments. Brooks, I know you've set that up.
You're on mute, Brooks.
Oh,
If you're on YouTube or LinkedIn watching this, you can see the comment. We can add your comments, so please feel free to interact, and we'll respond to them.
yeah, I know in the previous week's episode on OpenAI, we had some comments, which is great because we're a very new podcast. But if anybody wants, they can check us out at AICatchup.live. You can see what we've got scheduled. You can see past episodes. And now there's AI Catch-Up merchandise, right? You get a t-shirt, you can get the mug. So let's look at Gamma. So what we've done, if you were watching last week, in the previous, we made a fresh account for the catch-up, right? So we made a fresh Gmail just for our group, just for the catch-up. So this entire Chrome browser is brand new. It's got a fresh search history. It's got a fresh set of installations. So we're going to check out Gamma. What I noticed just before we showed the live stream was that sometimes the sponsors use the name of a popular software. So this Pop AI is not Gamma, even though it says Gamma.app. That tells you how popular the Gamma software is, that people are paying money and using that title to come up in your search. But what you want is Gamma.app. I think I put Gamma.ai in the description. I'll have to change that. So Gamma.app, like application, we click it. This is what you see. Okay, this is for a brand new account, right? So you can see, you can bring your ideas to life. And the big things you're going to do is you're going to make presentations, right? And the reason you want to do that is because you're communicating with people, and we don't want to take a week or a month now to make these things. David's going to show us something in minutes. You can make presentations. You can make your social media posts. You can make documents, and you can make websites. Again, this is the AI Catch-Up. A lot of you might know this, but we're here to catch you up from the ground floor. So if you've never heard of this, Gamma can start for free. Now, because I'm logged in to my Chrome browser as the catch-up email, I just click Continue as AI, Continue as AI Catch-Up, because that's the name on the account. So we've never used this software before on this account. And it says, how do you plan to use Gamma? So I'll say for work, because this is what we're doing. And then it says, what kind of work do you do? I could just say other and skip it. Doesn't matter, right? This is their data. I don't think it changes the experience. How do I use it? I'm not sure yet. And how do I hear about us? Other, right? I'm going to say friend. Oh, no, number one, friend. I heard about it from Alan. So this is what it looks like, right? And it says created by you 20 minutes ago because I clicked and then signed out. But I didn't create that. This just came up because we signed in. And it tells you what's here at Gamma. So we can either go through this bit by bit, or we could jump right in. David, do you want to jump right in and show us on your screen what you do with Gamma. I think even though we're catching people up, I still think to watch you do it live might be pretty impressive. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and you can share yours. Essentially, it's the slideshow. David, tell me when you're ready and I'll switch the share.
I believe I'm ready. I'm ready
Okay.
to share screen. I was going to
Gotcha.
try. Give me a minute. Allow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go here.
So while David gets that ready, I'll tell the audience, last week we did the catch-up on OpenAI, and we use a software called Otter. We use a software called Otter AI that records the transcripts of what we're doing. It's very efficient. It's one of the better tools that I use, and it generates a PDF, right? So it generates a document, and a few minutes before the live broadcast, I sent that to David in our chat, and he's going to take that chat of the transcript, and he's going to turn it into a presentation. All right, so we're watching David's screen here. David, what do we got here?
So let me go. I'm setting up an account. Well, you've already done it with the AI.
Oh, but hold on. You're offering people a free 30-day trial here.
There is the free 30-day trial. I thought I had it teed up to log into Gamma, which I'm going to do right now.
So if anybody is watching this and they want a free 30-day trial, they could use that code that you just showed there, powered by WITI.
For sure. And we'll put that in the show notes and put it into the thread. So let me just log in as the AI catch up.
Yeah.
And here we are, right? So it added that to my accounts. I think she had sent it to me as Gamma. Oh, no, it didn't. That's a different file. My bad. Never mind. So very easy. And I've been learning things, by the way, every day. Just when I thought I knew something, somebody else comes and shows me the cool things they're doing, and I learn all over again. So I haven't explored as much Generate, because what I do is normally I'm working on a presentation for a client or something. In this case, we're just going to pop in the show notes from last week, or the closed captioning, really, right? And in the past, before Gamma's latest release, I used to have to pop this into ChatGPT or an LLM, and then have it formatted. But now what I'm able to do is just put it in, just paste the closed captioning in. And you'll see below I can choose a presentation, a web page, a document, or a social feed. We'll go with a presentation because that's what we're showing. And now we can choose what we want. There's different prompts you can put here. I'm going to ask the text to generate out of what we put in. I'll ask for medium information per slide.
But you could protect it, right? If it was really important, if you really liked what it said and you said, don't change a word, you could click that one button.
You can preserve it. And when you do hit preserve, it'll preserve the text, but it still gives you all the AI features of really putting together a deck. And it gives you a lot of the AI. I hadn't used that for a while until I was doing a survey report for a client. And I'm like, well, I have to have preserve, but let's see what it does. I thought I was going to have to change it. It was phenomenal what it did.
Mm-hmm. So for anyone watching, this is the free version. I don't think you've yet logged in with your free month. This is just straight off the shelf free.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Which I don't think I need to do that, but I think we could show everybody what's possible for free. And then if they want to use it, and we'll eventually get this account on, use it, right? And now who do I want to write it for? It says internal team members familiar with the project. We don't really want that. Let's say listeners of the catch-up. Podcast. People interested in learning more about AI. Okay, conversational, collaborative, informal. That's good. You can also, next level, go into your LLM. What prompt should I use for this? Here's what I'm trying to accomplish, right? Now, the image models are below. This is another thing where once you get the Pro, you have many more image models you could use.
And these aren't Gamma's image models, right, David? These are like Nike and Coke and Pepsi. These are like the brand name ones.
Right. But and there's so many, right? Leonardo I've been using. That's pretty cool. I would need a Plus account to do that. You need a Pro account to go up to Flux Ultra and some of these others. So this is where, there's opportunities to upgrade. But as you'll see, I think we can use one of these three to get a great slide. Now, is anybody familiar with any of these? Or should I go with the one they recommend? Brooks, Michael, Brad?
Yeah, do the one they recommend.
Okay.
When you do the Pro account, the OpenAI ones are the ones we were showing last week, and those are doing some pretty cool stuff too.
Totally. And I just started, I had been using Flux Ultra, but I
One's
started with Leonardo with just my Pro account. So anyway, people should try that out once they use the code and get it going. Anyway, format, there's again things you can add here. We had already chosen presentation. I think they give you a cap of 8 slides.
That's good. That almost helps you that you just stay inside the lanes.
Right. And see here, so I was able to go to 9 cards, but when I tried to click 10, it's saying update, upgrade the account, and then we could go up to 60 slides. So that's pretty cool. But we'll do 9. We'll max it out. Now, there I go. I can pick a theme. Again, another thing I could ask my LLM about, what theme should I have? Here's the audience. But let's you
can customize this or randomize it, right?
What do you mean?
The color scheme, you can customize it, or you can just hit random and just get their 2 or 3 color schemes done for you.
Right. And if you look over here on the right, they give you a ton, right? If we want professional or colorful, and then it kind of, what do you think, guys? Professional, maybe we'll keep it as maybe something like this. We want to pop more. Anyone? Do we have an official
contrast of light and dark?
Well, wait. Do we have a red one because of is the branding red for the show? I think.
That's smart. Yeah, let's see if there's a red.
Okay, I think actually that first one it recommended. See, AI is just thinking way ahead. We have to talk about it to get there. Where was that red one it first recommended? Well, here, we'll go with this one.
That looks good.
Okay, cool. All right, so now I'm just going to hit generate. And let's watch the magic happen.
So while we watch this happen, Brooks, you've also gone ahead and made a course for this.
I have. The course will be live a little bit later today. I just wanted to see if there's anything that we all came up with that we should add to the course from today. Right. But some of the things we'll be going over through that course is storytelling presentations like this, a gamified quiz show in a deck format, team-based presentation challenge. So like how can you come up with something that's even better? Start up being like a 15-minute pitches type of thing that like you all work in the same company, you come up with like a pitch competition with Gamma. And then data visualization. So like an adventure that you can create different infographics and things of that nature.
That sounds really cool. I like Gamma for the, like, as we're doing right now, we're sharing this account. So David's using it, but I could go in on my desktop and be inside the same Gamma. And at the same time, we could share it. We could share it to someone else's email. So if you're working on a project with a team, all of a sudden it becomes this like community touch point for your ideas.
Absolutely. Excuse me. So now that we have our first Gamma, a few things, and it's walking me through as a new user, right? So Gamma uses cards. And again, I think we'll all agree with these AI models that we think we know because we've been digging in for so long. There's always new things popping in and new features that they're just instantly giving you, right? So cards can be similar to slides, pages, and sections, but with 0 limitations. Okay, nice. Every card is made up of edible blocks. We knew that. I'm ready to go. Okay, so a few things. First of all, catch up, exploring AI and tools models. I I think I like that graphic. You know,
So the content came from our PDF, but now you're going to do whatever you want with it. You could make it say anything.
right. Well, and I pasted the closed captioning from the text. I mean, just right into Gamma.
Yeah.
And then and then it pulled and it kind of structured the content, right? AI model overview. Now, if you see these slides, you could also, another feature they have that's pretty cool is using different layouts that you may want, right? 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, bullet layouts, text boxes, all sorts of things that you could add into your Gamma to restructure what you're doing.
It's like you're a magazine editor.
Right. So as an example, if you look at this chart here, right, with the 4 language models, and I wanted it as I want to see what we're in now so I don't screw it up, but that's okay. I could always redo it. So maybe wanted like a funnel, right? It just kind of insta changes it. Oh, I was still on the top one, right? But it would instant change what we created.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like that, so maybe we'll switch it back.
And you'll notice it even pulled in our logo too, the AI Ketchup logo in there also directly from, I think it probably got it from the website because it wasn't in the auto notes.
Well, I think it got it from me logging in with the Google login.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think so.
What I do know is if you don't want a specific company name, email name, or person's name there, you could change or delete that space of who authors the deck.
Everything is highly editable.
Right.
I think that's one thing that makes Gamma excellent is you can go in and change literally every portion of it and modify it and then regenerate different portions of it. So if you want an entire slide redone, you can do an entire slide. If you want a subsection of a particular slide, you can regenerate that. You could also go in and manually type things out. You could also import stock photos or your own photos.
Right. Well, right. I think we'll get into that because you currently cannot import them into Gamma. But what you can do is take your Gamma once you complete it, import it into Google Slides, or export it as a Google slide or PowerPoint, and that's where you could change stuff. They are working on being able to add it to your library, but they don't have it yet.
I think.
Sorry, please.
Yeah, I believe you can add photos to Gamma. You just don't have a library of photos to draw from across different ones.
Yeah, that's true, guys. Gamma currently in May of 2025, if you generate an AI image, it makes a library of the AI generated images. So if you're making one for a project and you open up another project and you go, I love that picture we made, the generated ones are in your library. A software like Canva has an upload library. So this has a generated library, but not an upload library. But essentially, if you're uploading it, you should have the file.
Totally. But
yeah.
So let's just go through. So we're okay. So first of all, for this card, right, it looks a little plain. So we can tweak this one. And I can just go into the edit with AI and say, I could type something specific in, or I could say, make this more visual or add an image. There you go.
So you don't even have to know what the tool can do. You can just push the button and the automation will happen.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So here it added. Now, one thing I love about Gamma when you're playing with some of the AI pieces, I can say, well, I'm not crazy about this. So then I could just go right back to the original and try it again and say, right, maybe like, please add image with charts. Just hit return. Boom, it's working on it.
And that's that sparkle button, that button that now has become ubiquitous, that AI button that looks like a star. You click that and you type in your thoughts, and look at it, it's even on color scheme.
Right. Okay, right. So I think this is good, fellas.
Yeah.
Stay with this one. Next one. Do we like this? Again, if we wanted to change the text, just type right in it. If you wanted to change kind of how the information's around, do it. HR learning models here. Well, I'm sure we'll speak on future shows about napkins, about napkin.ai and other utilities like that. But if you wanted to articulate your point in a different type of infographic, and that's maybe not within Gamma, there are some other real, very easy to use tools to do that. Here, maybe we need a graphic for this slide. So I'll just say, please add graphic to this slide. Boom.
And I think that how easy this is to do, it just makes it such a good storytelling tool. It really makes this way more dynamic than what it might take, say, a salesperson to put together for weeks, right? Trying to build out a deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's great to combine what we learned last week with ChatGPT and what we're learning today with Gamma, is that ChatGPT knows about Gamma. So you can go to your ChatGPT account, watch last week's episode and learn about it, or it takes Brooks's course. You can go there and say, hey, I'm making a Gamma slide deck. How do I make it look like? And then your question is there. Like Michael, you could say, oh, I want my corporate colors, or I want it to look like my website. These tools combine in a wonderful way.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, one thing I did while you were talking, Brad, and I didn't mean to click it before you were done, is I went to make this more visual, right? So it went from this to this, which I kind of like this, right? So, but again, if I didn't like what AI did with it, I could always just click back to the original and work off of it. So I think that
buttons at the top of each card.
Right. So original, more visual, because I did click the more visual button.
Yeah.
And you could just continue to play with it, add an image, replace images.
Can you demonstrate, David, on the left-hand side, there's like a preview window. I know they call it film strip view, but there's also a second view. Can you just show people there's two views?
Right. I think it's pretty much just titles and then that.
And I think you can move the slides around from the preview window. Look at that.
Totally. Right. So if you want to redo them now, as you were talking about, Brad, there is a library. Another new thing that Gamma did that I was very happy with is if I wanted to change the slides, and again, we created a brand new account for everybody from the show, for this show, but if I double click on this, it'll then pull up this AI image media library. Now here, what it has filled here is just the images we did from our first presentation that we just created. But if we had more of them, I would be able to go in and click my AI images, and then it just has the whole history, which I probably have thousands of images on my account. So if I liked an image from something I did yesterday and wanted to maybe use it for this, then I could just pop it right in. So anyway, another cool, easy to use feature that just makes this stuff so easy. Right here, they're kind of putting the bar. Band. I don't know about this graphic. Maybe we want to tweak it to channel strategy and audience engagement. Maybe the mic is good for that.
So for anyone watching, basically every image and every text has a button. If you hover over it and click, you can edit the image. You can create a new AI component of the text, a new AI component of the image. You can upload your images. You can get stock images. It's such a highly customizable software tool.
For sure. Totally. Right. So channel strategy and audience. Maybe we'll use this graphic.
And while you're doing that, we have a comment from Michael just saying how this is what PowerPoint should have been, and I totally agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at it, with Canva, if anybody's read the story of the woman that started Canva, kind of, what she wanted Photoshop and a lot of those tools to be, right? And yeah, that was pre-AI she created that. And now with AI, it's just crazy. And I totally agree with Michael. And thanks for chiming in. So,
and with these tools, you can completely build stuff faster than what it takes to open them. Open the traditional tools like a Photoshop or like PowerPoint just to get started. This is so much faster.
Exactly.
Right.
Mhm. I think we've got about 5 minutes left, David. I know you're going to show us one of your superpowers, which is LinkedIn and how these two work together.
Right. Now, I realized, Brad, because I was on this browser, I'm not able to get into my LinkedIn for this account. So could I ask to kick it back to you, go into our Gamma account, and then share it through your LinkedIn?
Can I ask if you guys could talk about the analytics aspect of Gamma? There's an analytics.
That's great, Michael. That's true. There's a button on Gamma that lets you see who has viewed the Gamma, how far they've scrolled down, what pages generated interest, where people made it through the journey. If you share this deck with individuals, it says if they opened it or not. And then if you're saying, I shared it with 100 people and everybody got to slide 4 and stopped, you can move slide 4 down. You can do A/B testing in this live. You can essentially turn your presentation into a web link that you can track who's watching and how it's performing. Michael, is that what you're getting to?
Yep, that's what I was asking. Yep.
Totally.
It's totally great.
So then, do you want to share, or how should we do it? Or I could jump to my other.
Well, you could just jump to your other. I think what I was hoping for, and we did, was to show people the free version, so you don't go like, you've paid for this and it costs $1,000 and that's why it's beautiful. You're like, we showed you guys brand new, a fresh Gmail account, a fresh Gamma account, just popped in a transcript. It picked the colors, it picked the slides, it picked the images. We could change them. It's very easy to use. We are absolutely just scratching the surface of what Gamma can do. Once you dedicate the set of hours to learn about it, you can fly through presentations. You can have clients, you can have projects, you can have activities you're doing with your business, with your social life, with your community. Have a conversation like this, generate the notes, put it into ChatGPT, say, give me the Gamma slide deck, and it takes about 4 minutes. And you're 4 minutes away from a presentation that very concisely says, here's what I have to say, here's a graphical representation, here's a web link for it. You can even turn these into not just a landing page, but full-on multi-page websites where you can have nested pages. Here's my merchandise, and within my merchandise, here are sale items. Here are wholesale items. Within my wholesale items, here are things available only. Like, you can nest web pages through Gamma like anyone else. I've put a website together through Gamma, and it was a couple of clicks. It just said, like, do you want to connect this to your account? I said, yes. It was live. It was amazing. David, if you share your other account for Gamma that you're connected to LinkedIn.
Right. So, but let me just go through this flow first, right? So I could go to LinkedIn. I think we actually have a LinkedIn account, I just realized, connected to this Google account, I think.
We may. Let's find out.
So let me see how this would work. I don't know if you guys can see this pop up, but it asked me to
So you've used the share button at the very top of the Gamma browser page.
Right. So right over here, share. Then it was okay. So now let me just.
Hey, Harvey.
I don't know if I log in. Let me see.
And Dr. Harvey's here.
I think this account may not be functional.
I would also like to add for Gamma, it's mobile friendly, so you can make your presentations on your phone, and you can also edit the presentations easily in your websites on the phone.
Yes. So here, let me grab this code and put it in, which is.
Now you're giving people, David, a free 30-day trial of Gamma as an ambassador for Gamma, as a Gambassador.
Correct. And I'm having issues with this. So
I see Brooks has put the link in the banner for anyone watching at the bottom of the screen there. You can see it's Gamma.app and use the code powered by WITI.
Right. And so here, so we'll kind of skip the LinkedIn part for that. We can do that on future shows, or come to one of our sessions we have that we can show you. We do have a Gamma Power Hour every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, where we kind of just walk through and people show what they're doing. But here I'm just going to show you real quick how to export to Google Slides, use the Catch-up account, continue. And now what it's going to do is just export it into Google Slides, into our account, and then we can go ahead and share it with clients. We won't get, once we export it, we'll have to rely on other AI analytics or just other analytics to track. But this is just another great feature because now it'll open in PowerPoint, in our slides. Let me just open with Google Slides. Some things to keep an eye on for everybody. Sorry, I'm going a little over. Is sometimes these will merge, right? So sometimes the engagement may overrun the first piece. So then you just want to go in, and sometimes you just have to extend this a little bit so the word will fit in, if that makes sense. But that's,
can you click before you go? Can you click the analytics at the bottom? So the share pop up is what we're seeing at the bottom. It says View Analytics.
Oh, my bad. I thought you saw.
No, we didn't see the other screen.
Okay, so here, so share analytics. Wait, Brad, this is the one.
Yeah, at the bottom it says View Analytics. Right? We can still see your pop-up. That other tab at the top says Card Engagement. This is what Michael was speaking to.
Right. So that's interesting. I don't know that anybody's looked at it yet, but once we share it, which it may be good for this reason, just to share these going forward through Gamma rather than just sharing. Oh, I guess we have been sharing them with Gamma. But right, that's amazing, Michael. Great catch, because I did not know that. Or I haven't been using it anyway.
Yeah, and it tells you not only the time spent, but the percentage viewed. So you can see that people spent more time on one card than the other, and how far people got through. If everybody got to see that card in your Gamma presentation, it's a great way to see what information you're offering is landing well with your audience.
Totally. And then once I export, now here it is in Google Slides. And this is where I can pop in other images if I want, or if I may have my company brand and need the logo at the top of every page or something. A lot of things you can do. And then you're pretty much good to go to show a slideshow for a client or whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
So
and again,
no, please.
Yeah, we've just scratched the surface. There's so much you can do with this tool. And Brooks, you've gone ahead and created a whole course on this. You're teaching people how to use this because it's a masterful tool. You can use the free version of a very long way. You can get a lot done with the free version, but it is so much more robust than it was when it first came out. I know when it first came out, it was very, very simple and straightforward, but now it's like, do you want to create a presentation? Do you want to create a website? Do you want to use the AI features? Do you want to customize the slide deck? There's a lot to learn.
And more than half the course is using the free version. You know, there's only a few things that I touch on where you need the premium part for. So, I mean, there's just the fact that you can use this for free is amazing. And what you can create from it is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Harvey, you use Gamma. You use so many software tools. You're Dr. GPT.
Yeah, I enjoy. I really do enjoy AI. There's so much, and not to go too much in the weeds, but to me, we can share this document later. I posted it on an internal AI, ChatGPT specifically. You can create a lot of these things, and for example, I'll give you a quick example. I was able to upload one of my prior PowerPoints as a PDF into ChatGPT. And then I said, I am speaking to, and it was a small network of people. There was 12 individuals, and I got their background. And then I used my PDF to change the way I present to those 12 individuals and use examples based on their background. And so then I used my same presentation. AI was able to extract my presentation and then change up the points and examples. So example, if Brad is a script writer and he's into the movies, then my example would be specific to Brad. And then I was able to customize it, and then AI created those PowerPoints. And then to this example, we could use Gamma to do the same thing. Thanks for pulling that up, Brad. Go to the next page. And so my process was pretty simple. We created that. There's the GPT store allows you to use these different GPTs. So one of them is called Slide Maker. It has over 600,000 uses already. And then that example I just gave you, you could do that with that. Or if you were just doing an example of marketing for your company, you could do that. And then I thought, well, we need pictures, but not just any pictures. So there's a GPT that's called Diagrams. And then you're able to create a mind map, different cool pictures, and then you literally just put your PowerPoint and say, hey, make me a mind map of X, and it'll do it, and then you can put it in there. And then there's another PowerPoint called GPT that was that Deck Master, and then this was this. So this is just something I made. We'll figure out how to create a PDF or a way to download it. Maybe we'll just do a post afterwards with this document so you can download it. And this is something free that if you have a subscription, $20 a month for ChatGPT, you could use this as well.
I love that, Harvey. I think we should pop that into Gamma to make it look a little prettier.
Yes, there we go. Let's use Gamma. I like it. Let's do it.
Well, I'm glad we got to show people the catch-up on Gamma. This is, again, I've said it a couple times, barely scratching the surface of what you can do with Gamma. But what we're aiming to do is just catch you up. So when someone says you should use a Gamma, you're like, I watched the catch-up. I know what you mean. It's a free tool. It's very easy to use. I can ask ChatGPT for the Gamma version of something like Harvey's explaining, and then just paste it in like David showed us, and then you can output it directly to LinkedIn. So in a very seamless workflow that Brooks can teach you a ton more about, you can go from idea to beautiful presentation in a very short amount of time with a very easy to use free software. I've been excited about Gamma for a couple of years now, and I'm glad to be able to catch you guys up on it too. What do you think, guys?
David, isn't there an analytics thing where the algorithm of LinkedIn encourages the sharing of decks?
Definitely. And maybe we'll even do a LinkedIn episode at some point. But yes, having graphics, videos with your LinkedIn posts. If we're trying to support each other in the community, comment first, then react. That earns extra points for the post. But that's a great point, Michael, right? And then as you're sharing it and tagging people in that will reply, not just kind of tagging too many people in, there's all sorts of LinkedIn tricks that we can certainly go over on future episodes.
Oh, please, David, you are a wizard at LinkedIn. I would love to be caught up on LinkedIn from you.
Yeah, that sounds like a great episode.
Let's do it.
Yeah. If anybody wants to comment in the chat live or while they're watching afterwards, let us know the softwares that are in your sphere that you say, I'd love to get caught up on that. The catch-up is a live every Wednesday roundtable with the team here with David Layton, Michael Knopfsinger, Harvey Castro, Brooks Woods, and myself, Brad Rochefort. We're very happy to bring you the AI catch-up.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Step right up, it's time to hear the cleverest show of the year. AI catch-up, brighter tone, every week in your living room.